By the way, we need to play that recall game.
That's what you said. Repo.
The repo, that's what, not recall, Recall. I'm having a stroke already.
Hey, that's okay. Me too.
You're not having a stroke?
I'm on Atrophistat.
Do you realize
That's supposed
that?
to prevent that.
Do you realize that every time I smell toast, I freak out?
Oh my gosh! I'm having a stroke. That's okay. Every time I wake up and I've laid on my left side for too long and things have gone numb, I'm like, oh, there it is.
Oh, that is a weird sensation for me. Maybe I need just there we go. Is when I was very skinny, like ridiculously skinny. I didn't go numb ever, but now that I've gained weight, like I go numb all the time, and it freaks me out at first. But now I'm like, I embrace it.
I just remember the meme of Oogway saying, "My time has come," when he's about to be taken out of the
Yep, that's about right.
That's gross.
I agree. I apologize. I'm sorry for doing that. I'm just gonna let you guys know I literally didn't even look up anything, so
Hey, that's what we normally do for all your stuff.
I know. So I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna enjoy this one. I'm not gonna stress.
Let's be honest. Jake, how much research did you do?
So I did a lot of research on the brain stuff for it.
Nice.
And there's also stuff that I remember from the past that might be incorrect, but I'm going to stay in it anyway.
I'm just gonna name bands.
Good.
I'm gonna sing copyrighted materials for 30 seconds.
This is so it doesn't get
So it doesn't
copyrighted.
get copyrighted. This is the one we're gonna get copyright hit on.
Yeah,
Should we get going?
that's up to you.
Let's get going. Welcome to the Twaddling Along podcast. I am your host, Dan McBride, here with my co-host and brothers, Jake.
I decided to look up open ings, and it came up with a few. First, open-ended questions. How is your day going? I don't know why that's open-ended.
Oh, as in like what he needs to say.
Compliments. I love your accessories.
I have accessories on.
So, and then funny or lighthearted. Is it just me or is it getting really hot in here?
That's funny. I'm like, yeah, that's not an HR problem at all.
I'm terrible at
just
small
me?
talk, but I'm good at a skill or hobby.
Is it just me or is it getting real hot in here?
I think it's just
Real
because I'm
hot.
fat.
So, needless to say, Google did not help me whatsoever.
And Josh,
Look up something in ChatGPT. See if ChatGPT can help.
dear Chat GPT.
I don't know. I have.
How to open a podcast.
This is an iPad, so I might be able to use their new things.
What's up,
How's everything going, guys?
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 How can I open things? Oh, I didn't do it.
Use your hand.
Use the force, Luke.
Hey, whose turn is it to pick the thing? Oh, it's Josh's. Josh, why don't you go ahead and tell us?
Man, he just jumped right into it.
I just did I used the Force Luke, and it's like I couldn't find Force Luke in Apple Music.
Force Luke to do what?
I don't know, but now I'm uncomfortable.
Interesting.
First I'm stating is it hot in here, and then I'm telling people to Force
Hey,
Luke.
but that's a perfect segue because we are talking not about Amazon Music. We're talking about music.
And what about music, Josh?
How the heck did it come? No, just kidding. It's not a history lesson today,
Right.
ladies and gentlemen.
It's a
That's
human
next.
condition.
Oh, I
This-
looked up how to.
This
music.
is human condition of how it affects us.
Badly most of the time.
I know.
Actually, that's not true. Music is a good thing in my life. I
And
like music.
we're going to talk about how it's affected us badly or goodly.
Goodly.
Yeah, goodly.
How about
Googly.
neutrally?
Josh grew a
Neutrally.
mustache, and so now he's going Flanders on us.
I know. And I followed my cousin's example. I first have to shout out, thanks, Grace, for the recommendation of coloring my mustache.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about her saying don't get a Brazilian wax.
Well, I was going to mention the other thing because she told me to.
No.
But I'm not going
Don't
to say
do
it.
it.
But Grace, know that we're thinking about it.
Oh, no, don't put that on Grace.
I honestly was not thinking about it,
Oh,
but now I am, and now I.
there you go. But what was the question?
Something about music.
Oh, yeah. What are your favorite music?
Can you rephrase that question? Because not only was that grammatically incorrect,
Grammatically, we are batting 1,000, ladies. What fond of you music are? What joy do you find music often?
I'll rephrase the question.
Thank you, Josh.
Let's start with when you're having a bad day.
Yes.
What do you listen to?
my kid's crying at me.
Meatloaf.
Meatloaf
I do.
is your sad.
Oh, absolutely. I listen to a lot of Meatloaf. I could do anything but love. Or I can do anything. I would do, oh my goodness, guys. I would do anything
now,
for love, but I
listen to
won't
this. He's
do
listening to
that.
Hey, does my mic sound like it's not constantly catching me?
No, so I think what is happening is we're
Too loud?
not too loud.
We're
we're clipping.
Yeah, it's weird.
So if you're not talking quietly, if you're talking too loud, it takes it off, and then if you're talking quietly, we'll pick you up.
So I just need to talk quietly.
Yeah,
so
we just
everybody,
need to
you guys
talk
gotta
quietly.
just calm down a little bit.
We can be those
NPR hosts.
Welcome to the Jazz Network. We're going to be going over or classical. Welcome to classical. We are going to be doing Mozart's Ninth Symphony in C major.
Excuse me. Did you just say Mozart's Ninth Symphony?
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know who you are anymore.
What's wrong with Mozart's Ninth Symphony?
Mozart doesn't have a Ninth Symphony.
He doesn't?
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure? I don't know if he actually ever did one, but I'm going to look it up now.
I really hope that you are completely wrong.
I probably am.
Mozart's Symphony No. 9 in C major K is a delightful piece composed during his early years, likely in the late 1769, early 1770.
I can't believe you got it right.
So as you can see, Joshua, even though
Josh, you're completely wrong.
I was spewing, whatever, and I was right.
Mozart's budding genius, even at a young age, the symphony is scored for classical orchestra, including flutes,
If we
oboes,
have
bassoons.
to talk this way the whole time,
We
I'm
don't
gonna
have
be
to. We just have to.
pissed.
It's still going to pick up even if we talk normally. It just is going to sound weird in your headphones.
I'm going to talk like this the
We're
whole time.
kind of giving away the magic of the podcast.
Is it?
Yeah. People are now going to know how podcasts are made.
Sorry,
want
that
that.
sounded gross.
I still don't know how they're made.
So, Danny, Meatloaf.
I love
This is gonna be a
Meatloaf.
therapy session for all three of us.
I would do when
Where do you think it came that you feel? Is it to make you feel better, or is it just to wallow in your feelings?
Ooh, that's a really good question, Joshua.
I like the wallow in your feelings.
Wallowing like
Just-
a pig.
Just like we're twaddling.
Just someone's on the floor, just rolling back and forth in their feelings.
Yep. Hey, before Danny answers this, I am not an English major. I make up crap,
Well,
Yes,
I
often.
said grammatically, so my wife probably just cried a little.
and I said music.
Sorry,
you like?
Julie.
I'm Yoda.
I think that it helps me process my feelings. I can kind of I can let go of the feelings that I have when I'm listening to the music, because it's like resounding. It's big emotions, big music. Most of the time I'm listening to it by myself and I am singing loudly.
Interesting.
Yeah. It doesn't make me feel better though. I never even thought about that, but I don't think that I've ever felt good during the music, but after it's done, it's almost cathartic that it's done and I got everything out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jake, how about you? Other than listening to your children cry.
Cause you would do anything.
I'm trying to think
for
because
love.
as you guys know, I was not a big music person growing up, especially singing. I did not like any music with vocal in it.
Mm-hmm.
I did love soundtracks.
I was gonna say you're kind of an anthem guy though. You like the big resounding soundtracks like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
and
I love Lord of the Rings. Is probably one of my favorite soundtracks.
a lot of the
Shout out to Howard Shore.
Yeah,
What a guy.
I still listen to that. They have the ambient stuff that's available on YouTube.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, where they have the camera actually go around the Shire, and they'll have Concerning Hobbits on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love that.
So that's what you listen to when
So-
you're sad?
I mean, I will be honest. If I'm feeling sad, I normally don't want any noise, and so
That's interesting.
I'm one of those people that I'll be in a car driving, and it's going to be for something, and I'll get from point A to point B and get there and be like, oh, I didn't listen to anything while I got here,
I have done that a
and
couple
I
times.
feel amazing.
Really?
So
You know, when I drive to work in the morning, I have a long drive, much longer than some of you poops.
Well,
Hey, what are you talking about? I still have like a 30 to 35 minute drive.
Mine's
5
like-
minutes. 5 minutes. And that's if I'm stuck in the light.
Mine's ridiculous.
And whose fault is that? Now, I used to have your drive,
That's true.
so
And it
I
sucks.
do understand, and that's part of the reason I left when I did. But
If I am not praying, usually I have music on, but I've learned that even while praying, I'll get so distracted. So usually I have to have something like soft on.
So wait a minute. So you if you feel like you're going to be distracted, you turn on music.
Yes.
Completely opposite for me. If I am distracted or if I'm focused on the road, I have to have the music off. Like if I am looking for an address of the house, I can't have music on because it's distracting to me.
See, and that's because I have ADHD
I see.
and I'm also a leprechaun. So it's interesting. When I'm sad, I listen to sad music.
Like what kind of sad music, Josh? Give
You
us an
know, all
example.
the goth, like grudgy music from the early thousands.
I say, is goth sad or is goth just rebellious?
Both.
Goth has got a little bit of emo is definitely kind of more
Emotional.
emotional.
The ones like, I don't know if you guys have seen the meme about the college professor that if someone falls asleep in his class, he sings to him. Like
So-
I listen to that.
So
type
when
of
you're
music.
like when you're sad, you're like, tonight will be the night that I will fall for you.
That's exactly what I
see.
listen to.
I see.
Over again.
See, but you didn't even grow up with that music. By the time
No.
that you were old enough, that was long gone.
No.
I did grow up with that music.
Do you know what my generation was? Like techno.
70s porn?
Stripper club?
Excuse me. No, what was it called? A dubstep.
Dubstep. Oh. Except when we were growing up, we didn't listen to like the normal music.
We listened
a-
to 70s porn.
No, we
Josh
didn't.
is starting bad rumors already.
No, we listened to mom and dad stuff, which was like
We had
70s, 80s rock.
Enya, we had ABBA, we had Journey, Styx, Boston,
Queen.
Eagles, Queen.
Yanni.
See, and I'm a big
A lot of
class-
Yanni.
a
I'm
lot of young.
Yeah, a lot of Yanni.
I mean, that man was a gorgeous Greek.
That's why I grew a mustache.
Mean mustache, flowing locks. Man, would he
And how
play
he-
that piano.
And how he directs music. What you don't see me is just rolling my hands around. That's how he directs music.
Like a belly dancer, kind of.
Yeah, literally.
Dun, 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 dun.
Racist. Okay, so
Oh,
now
dear.
let's flip the question. When you're happy, what do you listen to?
When I'm happy and I know it, I clap my hands. Stop my feet.
Josh actually stomped his feet. That was pretty
You're
impressive.
doing a good stomping. I don't know if I listen to things. If I'm happy, it's just whatever's on. I'm okay. I have in preparing for this, and I did very little preparation. Let's be honest with ourselves. I was thinking about like the music that I actually listen to on a day-to-day basis, and I don't listen to a lot of music anymore.
Really?
I've kind of switched over to more podcasts, audiobooks because I'm an old man now. But when I do listen to music, I listen to a lot of Americana. So, or I'll listen
I live
to,
in the backwoods with my cat,
yeah, kind of.
with my banjo
Super.
on my lap.
Or I'll listen if I'm in the middle of work and I need to do something that's like mindless. A lot of times I'll put on like a lo-fi hip hop, something that's just got a beat where I don't have to focus.
I'm gonna be like the biggest. Like people are gonna hate me, but I hate lo-fi.
Yeah,
I don't even know what lo-fi is.
It's they put like a beat, a very soft beat to a song.
yeah.
You know, I'm in school right now. When I hear lo-fi, I think of FIFO, which is first in, first out.
Oh, FIFO, FIFO.
5 Goes Rest.
Oh,
FIFO?
that's a song that I could listen to when I'm sad. Dreams to Dreams.
Come with me.
Oh my gosh, it's heartbreaking.
Oh.
I love it. But when I'm happy, I don't think that I don't like go to one specific kind of music if I'm happy.
Interesting.
What about you?
About me?
Yeah.
I listen, it's kind of funny. I listen to things that we used to listen to. So like What is the word I'm looking for? Nostalgia. So, for example, mom and dad just gave me a CD that I had in my car back in high school. So I've been pumping that, and it's joy. I have my window down. I have my hand out the window. It's perfect.
What about you, Jake? Do you listen to anything when you're happy?
I don't know if I really do. My thing is I just listen to music here and there. I don't really have a if I'm feeling sad, mad, or anything, I don't listen to music. It's just kind of
like an emotional. You're not emotionally attached to music.
No. I mean, I'm when I listen to music, I mean, this is going to say a lot about me. I listen to a lot of new age instrumental music, like Tim Janis.
Okay.
I am a big smooth jazz person, so Kenny G.
I don't think that's Kenny G.
I don't think that is Kenny G.
That wasn't Kenny G. And that's what's it called?
I'm never gonna dance again.
Yes,
that's right.
Feeding.
What's his name?
Well, Wham!
I just found out he passed away.
Wham bam.
George Michaels.
Yeah, he passed away a few years ago. I didn't realize that. I was kind of sad.
Jorge Michaelis. It's true. That's his name.
Hey, we have cousins with the last name Michaelis.
Oh, except that's not his last name. It was George Michaels.
Oh, awkward.
I agree.
So, what's happening?
This podcast is going great.
So we have happy and sad music. The reason that we're talking about this is now we're going to get into the brain function of what music actually does to the brain. Now, Jake, you went to therapy, and when I say you went to therapy,
Jake, you need therapy. Will you tell us?
I had so many problems. I needed therapy.
when I say you went to therapy, you learned how to be a therapist.
I studied therapy.
You studied it.
Yeah.
What did you find out in your many studies? I know there's a thing called music therapy. I don't even know if it's related to whatever the crap we're talking about.
But what did I learn about it?
Yeah, what did you learn? How can music affect us?
Nothing. I learned absolutely nothing about music.
Nice.
Ridiculous.
Perfect.
No.
Did Sigmund Freud say you need to listen to Beethoven while?
Bless Sigmund Freud. He had a lot of ideas that were not of this world. If you want to hear me quote Sigmund Freud, go back to the very first podcast we had where I talked about something and Josh decided to say something else. You'll have to go back to the first podcast to figure out what that is.
I don't even remember.
Was that our King Tut?
Yes.
I like it.
Nice.
What I remember in high school, they had a career day type thing where they had different people come and present about their careers. And one of the guys that came was actually a musical therapist. It was really cool because he went over and he just talked about how he decided to combine both therapy and music into one thing. And he went over why he did that. And he talked about that music has a very large effect on the brain. And like even if you, as you do current studies now, find that there's actually even a larger impact on the brain
with music
than initially was thought. Because a lot of the time people thought, oh, it's like one part of the brain is like one half of the brain focuses on music, the other half does something else. Where now it's coming out, oh yeah, it's actually like the entire brain is affected by what this is. But one of the main things that he would do is he would use it with individuals who had Alzheimer's.
Oh,
I actually watched a movie about that. How someone would play music of the yesteryear, so the memories that they did have, and it brought back memories that they had forgotten.
Musical memory stimulation.
Yeah, it's
that is a really big thing, not only with Alzheimer's, but in most dementia-related diseases.
Yeah, it's used for individuals. I mean, like if they're forgetful when they have that happen, I mean, that's why you could put someone on a piano that has dementia or Alzheimer's,
and they'll play,
and they'll start playing the piano and play masterfully, or they'll start singing a song. Another thing is people that experience trauma. They've had things where individuals maybe experience some form of trauma, and the trauma has made it so they're unable to speak certain words. And like they can't say it when they're just talking about it, but then as soon as you get them to start singing it, they can say the word just fine.
Isn't that in King's Speech? Did you guys ever watch that movie?
I didn't ever watch it, but it
was really good. And there's one part in it where, for those who don't know, the king has a stutter and he's working on it because His brother just abdicated, and so he's trying to become.
For all of those who don't know, it is Queen Elizabeth's father.
Yeah. Anyways, he had a massive stutter, and at one point, that's exactly what the guy had him do. Is he had him put on headphones, and he said, "Now sing the words instead of talk them." And he sung his frustration, and it was it's perfect. So it kind of overcame at least a portion of his stutter.
Yeah, because it's really, because what it is that you have different parts of the brain that do different things. You have one part of the brain that is focusing on just speaking normally, and then singing is a different part.
Yeah.
So people that do have stutters tend to sing just fine, like Scatman John.
I'm a scat man.
Yeah, he had a very prolific stutter. Like if you watch his interviews, he had a pretty prolific stutter, but like when he was singing, you would have
totally
no
fine.
idea. So.
See, and I wonder, going back in history, I said that we wouldn't talk about the history of music, but we're doing it anyways. If you go back in time, the earliest monolithic structures, a lot of people say are acoustically perfect. For example, Stonehenge. They believe the original Stonehenge was used to be able to reflect music around, so it could put you in a trance per se, so you can have a better religious experience than by just participating.
Ooh.
While I've been listening to you guys, I've also been perusing a little bit online. And just to kind of back you up, historically, they actually think that music evolved from ancient rituals and communal gatherings, and that rhythmic pattern, that bouncing, that jumping, the thing that kind of made their gatherings all kind of naturally evolved musical notes. And they can go back to a lot of the early tribes that are still in existence, and they all have a musical community. They have a musical culture. A lot of their storytelling, their worship, their like just cultural expression is just all about music.
Yeah, you look at Native American powwows. I mean, it's very much of the rhythm of the drum and dancing, expressing some sort of story.
Native American medicine.
Yeah.
The African tribes. I mean,
Well, they recently, I can't remember, it was like a few weeks ago, they discovered drums that were way older than they initially thought. Because up to this point, they had discovered some flutes that had been about 43,000 years old. The ones that the people had carved out of like bone and ivory and different things like that. But then they also discovered drums, and that's kind of the belief is the drum might have been kind of the first instrument. And some people even say, as soon as mankind started walking on their 2 feet,
they learned rhythm.
Yep, they learned rhythm because that's required to walk. You don't realize it until you're doing it.
See, and that's bringing this up. You think about it in Genesis, in the Bible, one of the first things that's mentioned is someone who was the master of organs, meaning flutes. It's a weird interpretation, but there was music all the way back. If you're a creationist, a certain amount of time, but you could go back and literally at the dawn of human society, like you're saying, music was already an instrumental part to our society as a whole.
Have you guys ever listened to the, so they have a song that there was written on tablets?
Oh yeah.
It's it was about the 14th century BC is when it was written.
I think it was a Samaritan or something like that.
It's called the Hurrian Hymn number 6.
Interesting.
So if you
is it Egyptian? What is it?
It's from the goddess Nickel. I think I forgot
like
to put
I said,
it down.
I think it's Samaritan like that around there.
It might have been. Like they found Samaritan clay tablets that had stuff on it as well. But when you listen to it, I mean, it does have kind of that because it was mostly string instrument from what it looks like that was doing it. But like on there, it just said, "This is where you put your hands to make the instrument make this note," kind of thing. So,
and it's very interesting. If you go into music theory, a lot of the old time stuff, and when I say old time, like old world and then beyond, you have minor keys. You don't have a major.
Well, it's
key.
pentatonic chord. Yeah, it's the pentatonic.
And so it's interesting that was still taking place even back then.
And by the way, the Hurrian songs are Canaanite.
Oh, Canaan.
Canaan.
Canaanite. And they are old. Yeah, they're 1400 BC.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. I'm going to have to listen to that. I've never heard of this before.
Yeah, no, it was. I listened to it earlier. So and it's really cool. You can tell that a lot of like the history movies and stuff probably utilize this as their basis for making some of the songs and music.
Yeah. And so I just go back to reiterate, music has always been a part of human society. And so why? Why has it been so instrumental in literally everything we do?
I think for the most part that we needed communal activity.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at the history of humans, we thrive when we're a community.
Yeah.
We look at community as one of the most important things. That's, we say that family is important, community is important, and we naturally tended toward activities that united community.
Mm-hmm.
And music is kind of a natural community builder. You can have solo music, but it's not as powerful as group music.
Yeah. I just listened to or just watched Bohemian Rhapsody again. One of my favorite shows now. Talking about Freddie Mercury and one of his most instrumental, or I keep saying instrumental. It's because it's a music pun. But
thank you for explaining.
One of the things that he really wanted to create was a song that everyone could sing and participate in. So he made "We Will Rock You."
Oh, because it's boom, boom.
Everyone could participate in the thing. And really, that's what took them to the next level.
Well, have you guys ever watched that YouTube video where Bobby Darin gets up and he makes the crowd his instrument?
Yep.
And they naturally do the pentatonic scale, and so he actually plays them like an instrument. It's crazy.
It's super cool.
You'll have to look it up. It is.
So I've seen other people do like something similar.
There you go.
That was good, Josh.
That was really good, Josh.
The other thing that we're going to fast forward to our time now. Jingles. Isn't it interesting that music is also created
jingle
to... There goes old Chris Kringle. Sorry, I just got totally like...
Good job, Jake.
I'm sorry.
He was on a roll and you just derailed him.
He said jingle.
Chugga, chugga, choo, choo, kaboom.
Jingles are used to help us remember things.
Oh, 100%.
I just took I was talking to my professor the other day who was talking about different study strategies. And he said making jingles in music is a better way to remember a lot of things because our brain a lot of times thinks that way.
I can remember the quadratic equation because of that.
Really?
X equals negative b plus or minus the square. Wait, nope, I got it wrong. X equals negative c plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Something like that.
That's crazy.
No, that might be incorrect. But I used to...
Yeah, remember it.
Because my teacher taught me that. And that was the only thing I learned from him because he was a little interesting.
Let's mention his name so everyone... No, I'm just kidding.
No, he's passed away. I feel bad.
Oh. But... is there a study on that of helping us remember music?
I mean, music tends to be music and smell tends to be something that really ignites the portion of our brain that helps
recall.
Do recall and also input memory and everything. That's why. Have you ever had a moment where you're out there and all of a sudden you smell something and you go, oh, wait, that reminds me of such and such and such and such. So
skunks and Bear Lake.
Yep.
Skunks and Bear Lake?
For some odd reason, every time that we drove up to Bear Lake, there would be a skunk smell on the way. And so now every time I smell a skunk, I go to Bear Lake in my mind.
Walking through Home Depot, getting that wood smell immediately takes me to our cabin that we had growing up.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
That is interesting.
So it's just one of those, and that's why it's also very beneficial when using it in different types of therapy with people that have experienced issues, is that it ignites certain things. So
here's my question. Do you guys have specific songs that will send you back to a certain place in your memory?
Enya. Yeah. Enya will take me back to Saturday mornings cleaning a house.
Yeah.
Or Yanni.
Yanni, that I was going to say.
But also, the 80s music that we talked about earlier brings me back to cleaning outside or in the garage with Dad, because that's what he would listen to.
Especially Journey.
or Nightwish, which is a metal band from, I don't know where they're from. I thought they were Norwegian, but they could be somewhere else.
Yeah.
But that takes me to the cabin when we went up there and it was pouring rain, lightning was everywhere, and we were listening to it in the middle of the night.
Really?
Yep.
Billy Joel songs
Billy Joel songs.
send me back to Grandma and Grandpa McBride's house in St. George, specifically going on a four-wheeler out into the desert.
Really?
Yeah. Now,
Interesting.
Now, this is weird because obviously I wasn't listening to music,
Yeah.
but I think that I have associated driving down to St. George and listening to Billy Joel with St. George.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that comes on specifically, I am the entertainer.
I am the entertainer.
That one, for some odd reason, immediately triggers my memory back to St. George.
And you know what's funny is that song takes me to Disneyland. The reason why is because Dad used that song when he put together the Disney.
Oh, I get
The
you're
Disney
right.
movies.
The DVD. Oh
Yep.
my gosh,
And
you're right.
when I hear that, that immediately takes me to Disneyland.
I have a lot of association with music in sad times.
Mm-hmm.
So I have very, very specific songs that will remind me of people that I was really close to that have passed away.
Yeah.
You know, I like my really good friend Jeremy, when he passed away, one of the songs that we listened to a lot, and this was our whole group of friends, is Motorcycle Drive By
Third Eye.
We used to listen to that
by
with you all
Third
the
Eye
time.
Blind. And like, I love that song, but I can't listen to it anymore.
Yeah.
Because it is
I'm not allowed to play it around Danny.
It is so heartbreaking to me that
Do you know what another
it
one is for
hurts.
me?
Hmm.
The hymn "Love at Home," because it was Darlise's video song that was playing in the
see,
background.
Our aunt.
Yeah, our aunt passed away, and that was the song that they used in her kind of photo thing.
Do you know what reminds me of her funeral?
What?
Which is really weird.
Be Still My Soul.
The song in Monsters Inc. when he sang Goodbye to Boo.
Oh,
The
What
piano.
song?
The piano, the dun 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 dun.
oh my goodness.
For some reason, I think when it was actually interesting, I think right after I was told that she had passed away, I listened to that song, and for some reason that is now
Just permanent.
Wow.
permanent now.
I have songs going back that will send me right back to California.
Mm-hmm.
Like immediately to California.
The original Disney
Sing along.
Canada.
Yeah, exactly. That has absolutely nothing to do with Disneyland.
Yeah, no, that's all about
It's all about
Epcot and stuff, but we
And yet-
we have it for that one.
But I also have songs like Hey There Delilah,
Hey there, dog.
for some odd reason will send me right back to California.
See,
Interesting.
and, Fireflies by Owl City.
Yeah,
That takes me back to my high school every time,
really.
just because
Well, that's 'cause it was so
it was
popular.
on all the time.
Oh,
So
yeah. See, and that's what any Goldfinger song does to me.
See, and
Any
Goldfinger,
Goldfinger song to me will send me
Goldfinger
right.
reminds me of Tony Hawk playing N64 together.
and Goldfinger for me reminds me of going to work at Grandpa's because that's what
Oh,
we would listen
'cause-
to on the way.
Yeah, I stole it from Danny.
Yeah.
And then we drove the car up to my grandpa's every Saturday to work in his yard, and I'd listen to that.
So it's just super interesting that music can do that, of like bring up a memory. So everyone who's listening, go listen to a song, bring up a good memory. Dang it!
Well, but it's really hard I think sometimes it's hard to recall.
Yeah.
Like it's taken me a couple minutes to like think about the songs that are actually like emotional triggers for me. And it's funny how often I'm caught off guard. Like I'll be listening
It'll
to
start
something
playing.
and then like something will pop up. There's a song called Stable Song that reminds me of long drives with my wife.
Oh,
Like every single time that I hear that song, and it's a song that I listen to fairly often, it reminds me of us like driving up to Tremont.
Oh.
Like just completely random, but it's such like a vivid memory. I can tell you exactly what we were talking about. I can tell you exactly like where we were going. I can tell you why we were going there. And it's just when I hear that song, and it's scary to me how quickly I can
go right back.
go right back, Like it's not a long-term thing. It's a pretty rapid thing.
I have mine a lot with video game music.
Oh, that's interesting.
Different
Absolutely.
video game music takes me to different portions of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain things that like anytime I hear the N64 Excite Bike song, I get taken back to when Josh swallowed a penny had to get taken
That's
to
true,
the
'cause you
thing,
guys
and
played
so
that, huh?
our uncle and aunt took us home, and then our uncle played with Danny and I on the game, and that was like, and for me, like I just remember that I can see it so clearly in my head.
And
That
this
is
is totally
interesting.
off topic. That Rush Hour 2 does that for me, of that experience.
Oh, really?
Because that's what you guys were watching when I swallowed the penny, was Rush Hour.
That's interesting.
It was a good movie.
It was. We watched a lot of Rush. I mean,
I love Rush
We
Hour.
watched Rush Hour a lot.
I just
of
showed my
Rush
wife,
Hour
and I
Rush Hour.
Realized that
specifically
it was
Rush
a very,
Hour 2.
a very inappropriate show.
Oh yeah, as a kid you have no idea, and then as an adult you're like, oh, Mushu.
Well, and it's funny that you say that because video games do that to me a little bit, but for me it's more movies.
Oh, yeah.
So like the beginning of Back to the Future will send me right back to when I was 6 years old and watching it downstairs in Grandma and Grandpa's basement.
Mm-hmm.
See, and Indiana Jones.
Indiana
It
Jones.
just reminds me of being in our living room with Dad, and usually it was during like a summer day for some reason. We were just home. Like I just remember that so specifically.
See, and that's funny because that will send me right back to Grandma and Grandpa McBride's home in Orem. Like
Really?
Raiders of the Lost Ark, like almost immediately will send me right back there.
Do you know what's another song that brings up a memory that just popped in my head is the song that Dad sang for Mom on our Disney cruise, the Billy Joel song. Don't go change it. I don't even know if it's a Billy Joel song.
It is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, because he sang that karaoke.
Here we have all these people going up singing, and they just are tone deaf. Our dad is a phenomenal
I
singer.
am
Amazing.
wonderful. Really amazing.
Well, he
like-
was trained opera. I didn't know that until later.
Yeah, like he grew up. I mean, he knows how to sing, and he can still sing superbly well. And so here you have all these people, and then my dad gets up and sings that, and then they get down. The person's like, "Can you sing for me?"
Yeah, he's like, this is dedicated to my wife. I think it was her 40-something odd birthday.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Let's see, I was 7.
No, she was. When did we go?
It was her 40th birthday.
It was her 40th. For some reason, I thought it was earlier, but
Yeah, it was her 40th birthday.
Yeah. Well, there. Happy birthday, Mom.
No, it's not. It was not. It was like 43.
I was
No.
I was
No, it would have been her 40th.
I was going to be turning 11.
Mom had me when she was 23.
So
and
yeah,
I
she would have
was
been.
17.
Oh, that's true.
She would have been turning
So
40.
yeah,
She
her
was 40.
40th birthday is when Dad sang that.
Happy birthday, Mom. We
And
just
Danny,
exposed how old you were. I'm sorry.
Do you realize that same karaoke, Bohemian Rhapsody, also brings me back because that's the song you were going to sing.
No, that's the song I was going to sing,
Yeah.
but I never did sing
No,
it.
that's what I just said.
Is that what he said?
Josh just said that was the song you were going to sing. No, that was the song I was going to sing.
Yeah,
I wasn't paying attention. Hey, everyone, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying
yeah.
good attention
I
there.
remember that you had signed up, and I was going to go back and be like, sign up for something stupid too. And then Dad got picked instead of you.
Yeah, and he was the last one for
Yeah.
the day. And then they started like some weird game show thing.
And I didn't even have a little desire to do
And so
that.
we went up and got pizza from the top deck and probably went back and watched movies in our room because that's what we did on our.
Well, I know.
On our
Danny and I
cruise.
kept getting pizza and hamburgers like 11, 2 o'clock in the morning.
It was awesome.
And where was I?
That's when my stomach could
Seasick.
actually
You were
take
seasick.
I was very seasick. I still get seasick, as I've come to find out.
it. And I still don't have that issue. So
Not a problem.
All right, shifting gears a little bit. Did you guys know I did 2 science experiments on this?
No, tell us about it.
Back in elementary school.
Oh, some deep science.
We're
Good
going.
job, Josh.
This is now a science journal. It's made me millions. I'm just kidding. I did, first and foremost, I did one on does music help you burn more calories while working out? And my conclusion was yes, it totally does.
Why?
Why? The music that we listen to, for some odd reason, makes us or increases your heart rate and therefore burns more calories.
Interesting.
Now, this is from I think I was 10 or
You were doing
11.
some deep-seated research over there.
But music did affect us in the way. So if you're listening to hardcore metal or something with like a crazy beat, you're most likely to burn more calories during a workout. Later in middle school, I did one on if it can help you focus. And it does help you focus and
See,
accomplish the
And
task.
I've heard differing views on that.
And And looking back now, because you had mentioned that you can't focus with
I
music
cannot.
on. Everyone I tested was probably ADHD.
Oh.
And so for us ADHDers, caffeine does the opposite effect. It makes us focus. And music does the same. Jake's looking at something very focused.
No, sorry. You shouldn't focus on me right now.
Okay, now focused. And so looking at those two things, that second experiment that I did, do you know the stupid board game, that pops when
Oh, sure.
they have the 60 seconds? I did that. And on every time classical music made them go quicker on putting the things in than it did other music.
Really? I know there are some studies about classical music doing something,
Mm-hmm.
and I've never understood them because I literally, like, if I had to listen to classical music, and I love classical music. I love
classical
opera. I mean, but if I had to listen to it
I'm
and
very aware that you love opera. Let me tell you, I'm going to totally derail this for 2 seconds. Once upon a time, Danny had a Jeep that he would take his top off. The Jeep.
hello.
Now, the Jeep top, not
The Jeep top.
Bow,
not
chicka, wow,
Danny taking
wow.
his top off.
Danny and I were driving in this Jeep. We're going to the movies, I think.
Coming
everyone,
home from the movies.
You guys were. It was the Megaplex in Cottonwood Heights.
Was it?
No. It was Cinemark.
Because it was right over next to Cinemark.
Oh, because you guys did it. Because you did it again with me when we were over in Cottonwood Heights.
I did it
Probably.
pretty often with both of you because I thought it was really funny.
But anyways, so here we are in this open top. There's a few cute girls, probably around my age or a little bit older, on the street corner. So Danny, this was the time that I was starting to get interested in girls.
So Josh is like 11, by the way.
Puberty, whatever. Danny turns up an opera song,
Nessun Dorma.
full blast, with the top down. And Danny sings at the top of his lung, everything, not realizing that he can't hit the high C.
I hit the high C.
You did not.
I hit that high C.
And I was cowering in the passenger
And
seat.
I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yep.
We need to do a history lesson on Danny's Jeep because so much stuff happened to
Oh
that
my
Jeep.
gosh. We would need to bring in guests who were in that Jeep during
I
some
have
of those
told I have
experiences.
told Pauline that if I ever see it again, I'm going to buy it back
I
because
swear
that
I
Jeep
saw
was.
it after.
I've seen it a couple times around because it was a pretty darn unique Jeep that had some things that were my fault and why it was so unique. And you're right, there was a lot of things, a lot of opera singing in that Jeep just to embarrass my brothers.
Yeah. Jerk.
A lot of three tenors.
But anyway, that was total derailment. Jake, you had a comment.
I did.
You did, and then I said, I'm derailing this. So have I derailed you?
Shoot, what were we talking
I
about
don't even
beforehand?
remember
Let's
what
see
we
if
were
the
talking
music
about.
can bring back.
I remember what we were talking about.
Oh.
We were
See?
talking
It-
about
it brought back
it
the
did.
memory.
It was amazing. We were talking about how like classical music. You said that
Oh,
when
yeah.
they did classical music, people were able to focus.
Yeah.
And I was saying that would be my nightmare if I had to do a task and listen to classical music because it is so distracting for me. And even thinking about it, if I have to do an intense thinking task, I can't think of any kind of music that would help.
Oh, really?
Like nothing. I have to almost have complete silence.
See, and I'm the exact opposite. I have to have something playing or I get overwhelmed.
We can hear our sister talking.
Hold, please. And we're back. Welcome back,
Hey,
everybody.
there we go.
So yeah, classical music, because I remember being told by our grandpa growing up that our uncle would put a blanket over the speakers and just listen to classical music to think. That was how he thought.
Who?
Jeff.
Oh, really?
He would do that, and that's how he would process his thoughts.
See, I don't know.
I
can't do that.
I do okay with classical music to a point, but I can't do the heavy symphony orchestra. I can do like the piano
Oh, really?
ones and things like that.
My
but-
two go-tos that really help me concentrate is Beethoven's Symphony No. 9 and his Moonlight Sonata, all three movements.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm the problem. It's me.
No.
Hey.
me.
Hi, it's me.
Hey, no.
Hi.
That just came out. We can get sued. Stop it.
No,
Don't
she
tell
loves
me what
us.
to do.
We have a sister who loves her boyfriend, so it's okay.
I'm the problem. It's me.
Hey. Hi.
Hi. Are you the problem? It's you.
Yeah, it's me.
So let's talk about this. When it comes to music, is there a genre of music that you just cannot stand because it is either like let's say that like it's over overstimulating, or it's not just like a general dislike.
Oh, Danny, you're gonna get me in trouble.
Well, it's okay because I'll start. Like there are certain
Let me guess. Religious music.
Yes. I cannot do Christian rock.
See, and I love Christian rock.
And Josh can blast Christian rock.
Do you realize now that it's been a few years, do you realize that I would intentionally play Christian rock?
Dude, I knew that you were doing it from the get-go.
No,
it was,
but I would go to your truck and turn on that radio station.
I'm well aware.
Just to piss you
I
off.
hopped in your truck when you were sick
Mm-hmm.
and turned on the stupid thing, and you had that stuff blasting.
Oh, and it just
Yep.
and I used to like just tell myself, oh, it's because they're just not very sincere. They're monetizing faith. I've now grown up and just realized I just don't like it.
Because your wife listens to it.
Because my wife does, yeah, and she likes that kind of stuff. So, but it grinds on my gears, and it literally, it's not just that I don't like it, it literally almost causes me anxiety.
Do you know? I think I know who did it too.
Who?
Peter Breinholt.
Oh, Peter, you're probably a wonderful guy, and you've done wonders for the music. But if I never hear your voice ever again,
Can you hear?
oh. But so what about you? Any like
Anything that
genres
grinds
of
my
music
gears?
that not just grinds your gears, but literally is like overstimulating?
I would think so. This is interesting. So, pop music when it first comes out,
It grinds your gears.
Like new pop music.
like new pop music, drives me nuts. Now, if it's a few years ago, I feel it. But like right now, unless if it's Post Malone, I love that guy.
So you like Post Malone
And Jelly Roll.
I was going to say, and you like Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
So you're full of it.
But he's country.
He's pretty pop.
No,
He's pretty pop.
He is amazing. Anyway, but like, I'm not going to say it because it's probably very sexist and racist and everything. So I'm just kind of. Jake,
Great.
how about you?
Thank you for saying that, Joshua.
No. I, in all honesty, I don't know if anything really like gets on my nerves or like sets me off. I feel like it changes from day to day
Interesting.
because there are days where like the repetitiveness of Christian music, I just can't take it that day.
Yeah.
Or the rap. I don't like hearing people go blah, 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 like that
Really?
and not understand what they're saying. It's like, why did you even do it? So since you brought that up and since this is segment's already ruined, the Super Bowl halftime show this year, that type of rap was absolutely just, I couldn't get it.
Really? See, I like Kendrick Lamar. And some of his stuff.
I haven't liked the halftime show for like 20 years. So
Not even Michael Jackson?
Not even Prince in Minnesota?
that was like 30 or 40 years ago.
No,
Was it really?
Jake.
No, it wasn't.
Halftime shows didn't start until the late 90s.
Yeah, Prince, I think, was in the early 2000s, which was like 20
Are you
years
guys
ago.
sure? Because I thought Michael Jackson did it in the latter 80s.
Dun.
I don't know.
See, now you're going to make me check. There's been some halfway
I'm sorry.
decent
I
ones.
will
Michael
say this.
Jackson was in 1993.
When was Prince?
Prince was probably in the late 90s. Wasn't he dead? But when did he die?
No, Prince didn't die until probably 5-10 years ago. 2007.
Oh.
So nearly 20
correction.
years ago.
Then 18 years ago. It's fine.
The best one,
That
I
was
think,
the most amazing. Purple Rain in the Rain in Minnesota. Come on.
no
That
offense.
was
Purple
My favorite of the past couple years is seeing Snoop Dogg crimp walk next to Dr. Dre on top of a building. No. Seeing the pictures.
Did you just say crimp walk?
Yeah, probably.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we haven't proved in this podcast that we are the whitest people ever,
We are incompetent.
then
No.
My goodness
favorite
gracious.
part of that whole Super Bowl was seeing the overhead picture of Snoop Dogg laying there like this in preparation because he couldn't
Josh
get
is
up yet.
sprawling out.
He did spread eagle.
See, I just get
No, I get it. You get the ick.
I'm one of those. I just like music that's fun. I have a really hard time sometimes with songs that they always have to have a message to it, and then they really throw that message in your face. I hate that.
And I will say this. That's why I used to hate country music for that. Because the message was,
Get drunk.
I'm drunk, I got a divorce, and I have a
cheated.
big truck. Now
I mean,
like country.
You're not wrong.
I like some country singers. There are still some that I'm like, dude, stop.
I have to laugh a little bit.
Because religious songs are all country.
Well, and Jelly Rolls, most of his songs are
country.
about recovery from being a drunk.
But that's because he's not talking about, let's get in the truck and go down and sleep with the farmer's daughter.
Hey, number one, that is an amazing song.
I do love
And
that song. I fell in love with the farmer's daughter.
See, and I'm not a big country listener, so I don't mind it.
Like I
but
said, it depends.
I did not like it until I was in the heart of the Philippines about a year and a half in, and I was in a store, and all of a sudden a country song came
You're
on.
like America.
And that really was what it was. It was like
You stood up and put your hand over your
American.
heart.
it was just one of those. And again, since then I haven't really listened to it.
God
so
bless
See,
America.
and this is where I come in. The greatest national anthem in a Super Bowl of all time is Chris Stapleton,
I agree.
who is a big time country singer.
I just don't pay enough attention. That's why I don't like any of the things. It's like, Jake, did you like it? What? I don't know.
That's okay.
I like Chris Stapleton more when he was with the Still Drivers. There, I said it. I said it on this podcast.
So, Chris.
I don't even
Chris,
know.
go back to the
I
Still
don't even know
Drivers. It
who
was
that
amazing.
is. Should I look up Chris Stapleton?
He
Tennessee whiskey?
got Tennessee whiskey.
Again, you guys are really pointing out how much I don't know.
Sweet.
Josh doesn't know it either. He's literally just singing random words.
Okay, I'm just seeing a bearded man with a cowboy hat, which
He
is like
looks like-
every other country singer.
Do you know the
No.
guy from, what's that? The Oak Ridge Boys?
Hey, his middle name's Alvin.
That's true. Good old Alvin Stapleton. What is your brother named? Simon Stapleton.
Wait, what does that make sense?
Alvin, Simon, and Theodore?
Joshua.
You shut your dirty mouth, you
gosh.
fool. The kid who literally watched Alvin, Simon, and Theodore meet Frankenstein
all the time.
over and over and
no,
over.
But that was
and
kind of my
over
fault too.
I just like to point out,
and over.
I don't really remember that movie, but do you know what I do remember? Where they go on that around the world and whatever, and where Theodore asks for couscous.
Oh, now that is a fantastic movie.
That's a move. Speaking of music,
That is an amazing.
That music.
that music brings back so many childhood
it really
memories.
does. So it's funny because a lot of music during that age. So like that one, Fievel Goes West. A lot of
Yes.
the music from there.
A
You
lot
know,
of the Don Bluth stuff.
and that's the funny thing, and that's what I was going to say. Like the Don Bluth stuff, the Fievel Goes West. Those are the ones that are more impactful for me. What's funny is a lot of the Disney ones, even though they're very popular, they don't hold that kind of, I don't know, that sincere emotion.
The song that I rediscovered that I listen on repeat for days on end, and it probably drives my wife
Days on
nuts,
end.
is the opening theme to Camelot.
Oh,
The
holy
Quest
cow.
for Camelot.
Quest for Camelot.
That has a good soundtrack. I love the Steve Perry
yes.
standalone one.
I stand alone.
Well, and then my wife introduced me to "Let Me Be Your Wings" from Thumbelina,
Let me be your.
and now I listen to that quite a bit.
You don't know these songs.
No, I don't.
Josh is just literally.
I know we're not going to get copyrighted because I suck.
It's one of those that it has
Hey,
a
Josh sings "Friends Down Under." Friends Down Under.
just does it in the
I've
exact
got
same
friends
tone.
in low places.
know me. You know me. I don't sing. Well, okay, pause.
There is no pause.
Everyone listening, you know that there is a certain sweet person in our family who does not know lyrics to songs
Yes.
and
It's
makes them up on the spot.
It's my wife's favorite thing. We're talking about our little sister. Well,
Your
my
little
little
sister.
sister and
My
your
older
older sister, and bless her, she sings with her heart, and it is beautiful and wonderful and a touch of heaven. But the words are made up half the time.
But the greatest thing is, and I didn't realize this until I got married, is it rubbed off on me.
Oh, and me too. My wife talks about it all the time.
I
can't
make up songs.
I can't sing the words worth nothing.
My wife is like, you guys don't know the words, and so now my kids don't either. So my kids will be singing stuff in the back and just making up words to the tunes, and it makes my wife laugh.
Do you know
all
the
time.
number of times I've mispronounced something in the hymn just because I remember Kinsey singing it super loud?
Yes, I know.
Here we are in church, and we don't sing quiet.
No, we can't sing.
Yeah, we literally. Josh and I will be in a conference at our church, and we'll be singing together. And something will happen. Usually it's Josh, but Josh will be singing, and all of a sudden Josh will go to the wrong line and start singing the wrong verse. And so Josh is singing as loud as he can the wrong words. And then Josh just suddenly stops. And it goes like everyone
silent.
around just goes quiet.
Do you know what happens? I'll tell you what happens. I'm reading the song lyrics, and I'm like, hey, I remember the song lyrics. So I jumped in reading like the alto line or something and start singing alto. So I'm like,
Then why is Josh
and then
singing alto?
I
No reason.
totally space the words. So I make them up, but then I jump down to the wrong line. I'm like dyslexic or something. So I miss a line. So here I am, I am a child of God. Praise to the man. Like,
Well, here we are. We're singing, and Josh is trying so hard to do harmony, and it's just not working out. And then because of I tend to match the person next to me, and so I'm trying to like sing normal, but I'm matching Josh, and so then we start giggling,
and that's the
and then
rest of the time.
then it goes really quiet again, and so everyone around's like, and Josh and I are like, oh, we better start singing again.
If anyone wants to know, just ask my wife.
I'll ask my wife too.
I don't think I've ever sung a hymn all the way through without messing up since.
That's why the safest place to be is when you're sitting next to Dad,
Who sings it
who
right?
sings it.
who's
yeah.
right on every single note.
Yep, every time.
Who sings every single word, and I'm sure we drive him absolutely nuts sometimes.
you-
Bless
okay,
that saint of
we,
a man.
we all have the same like
Voice.
We have this ability
We have a
to do
similar
what he
voice.
does, but we cannot do it with our life.
We cannot.
We are less trained, but I do have to bring up this memory. Do you guys remember when we'd sit in priesthood session?
So
And
wait.
Grandpa
So
Minson-
for those of you who don't know,
Obviously, we've come out that we
we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They have General Conference.
Yes,
And they used to have a priesthood session where we would gather into a church and watch it.
with a bunch of dudes in like a chapel.
With our, and we used to go with my mom's side of the family,
Yeah.
and that would be me, Danny, Josh, Dad, and then a bunch of others that we could tell many stories about, but they listen to this podcast, so we can't right now.
But my grandpa and my uncle Scott, who both of them have since passed away, so I can't say this, would try to sing in 6 basements below zero.
well, Grandpa especially.
Grandpa.
And so
Especially.
he would be going, and it was like, and we'd be singing tenor, and then
because of our if you haven't noticed our high girly voices on this podcast.
We don't sing low. But
And-
the nice thing about this mic is we can get really low with this mic.
And the funny thing was, it was always, we'd stand up and be singing. And literally it would be like the last note. He'd be like, "Oh." And it was like, excuse you.
and he'd hold it just a little too long.
Yes.
And so he's always the last one singing. It's like, I don't even think that's a note, Grandpa.
Well,
You're just having a gas attack or something.
Yeah.
here we are. It's my wife and I, him, and at his church because we had a friend that was speaking, and Grandpa's just sitting there, and then he starts snapping his fingers, and then he starts humming, and it's not even a church song, and he's just sitting there, and then all of a sudden it's just one, and then he starts singing. And I'm like, Grandpa, I was trying to slap him, like, stop it.
Well, Grandma would always talk about, he'd whistle. And he was a loud whistler.
Well, and here we are in probably one of the most reverent moments of this church meeting, and he is just, it's either that or he'd lean over and he'd be like, that person was such a sinner before. Now they repented. It's like, and the acoustics in the chapel make it so it goes everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I miss him.
And see, that right there is the power of music and memory.
It really does. Like every time.
It is those moments that
The Mormon song "Ye Elders of Israel" that always reminds me of those circumstances.
it is funny. It is really funny because it is one of those things where it's you don't realize how impactful those moments are, but in the moments where the music is playing and you have those memories come back to you, you're like, oh wow, that was.
Well, the worst is when you're sitting there and it's a pretty normal thing, and then you start weeping.
Oh, and that's my see. And I was going to make that my final thought because we are officially out of time, and I will start. The biggest problem for me is music is one of those things that can set me off, and I will cry.
Me too.
And like I cry and cry and cry.
Now, Danny used to be pretty good, and so when you see Danny cry, it's pretty funny. Josh has been crying since.
Dude, I've been crying since birth. They didn't stop my crying.
Josh came out of the womb and instead of spanking on his butt, they played him a song. He's like,
Yeah, in that way too. Not an actual baby, just
Josh cries over everything. It's
Let's be
beautiful.
honest.
yeah, I'm bad when it comes to music and emotions. Like there will be times that it just sets me off so bad. And then I just cry and cry and cry.
Oh,
So what's your final thoughts, Jake? We'll leave the final thought to Josh.
God bless
crap.
us.
Music. A message from the mouth of Jacob.
We're flying into
We're now approaching.
currently at 3,000 feet.
or mine. We're gonna hit some turbulence. What the heck is going on?
For those of you who don't know, Jake just came back from Hawaii.
And the whole way, people kept going, the plane's going to be fine. The flight's going to be fine. The airport's going to be fine. Guess what happened? Nothing was fine. Anyway, music. I like music. I didn't used to like music, but I've grown fond of some music. Other music, complete garbage. Other than that, I enjoy soft music. I enjoy just that music that kind of gives a certain atmosphere.
Just realized.
Josh is sitting here. His shirt is half off. He's scratching his belly.
Sorry. You made me feel at home, okay?
He is literally like a bear. Just
The hair, so much hair.
I know it was. I'm so sorry, everyone. Bless you all.
Well,
this is why we can't do cameras on this podcast.
Well, the thing is funny is Josh's shirt just kind of kept slowly creeping up more and more throughout the podcast.
And then I realized right at the end is I'm like,
Just scratching the belly away.
that's why my theme song is I am short, fat, and proud of that.
Final thoughts for you, Josh.
Final thoughts for me. I have loved music, and out of all of us, I think I did the most musical stuff. Even though I'm not the best out of us three, I would say Danny kicks our butt on all the things.
Oh, no,
He plays guitar, piano, and sings better than the rest of us.
That is not
But
true.
music has always been instrumental in
Instrumental.
If you have to keep pointing it out,
in
it's
a
not
lot
fun.
of things that I do. Even now, like, yeah.
Going through college, are you taking your professors' advice and are you making songs about
Yeah.
the auditing?
Accounting is great until you piss off the auditor. That was on the test last week. So, and here I was. Here's my adjudicator sitting there, and they're like, "Are you singing?" No, I'm not singing at all. What are you talking about?
Wait, you're who?
My adjudicator.
What is adjudicator?
someone who
Adjudicates. Duh, Jake.
Well, that just I'm hearing Jew and educate put together in one thing, and I'm really confused.
and it makes sense. Jews are very smart. It's the person who sits and watches you as you test.
Is that what they're called?
An
No.
adjudicator is someone who makes an official decision or judgment, especially in a dispute of formal proceedings.
Oh, because I mean, I think you mean,
Josh thinks
proctor.
Yeah, proctor.
Josh thinks he's been going through school, and what he's really been going through is court.
Surprise.
He's been sued repeatedly, and he's like, "This is a really interesting way to get a grade."
I learned something new every day.
Why is this witness statement says accounting's great? It's not the editor. Anyway, but yeah, I love music, and I definitely think it makes my brain either smaller or bigger every day.
And with that, come to the end.
This whole podcast,
We are
really
done
we're
forever.
done.
Really weird. We made it.
This weird experiment.
We made it through.
Was it an experiment?
It was.
Is this all non-reality?
This is the final of our 3,
Oh, okay.
which means that we are officially on an off week next week.
This is the final. We're done.
We will be returning.
We will.
And it will once again be Josh's turn to change or
Sorry,
to
everyone.
choose what we're talking about. It is history.
I hope you guys endure it. If you know which one who's presenting, you could skip it. Like, it's fine.
Hey, at least I don't have to do history this time.
That's true.
So now I can be quiet.
Yeah, well, let's see.
I'll do something funny.
Good. Something.
Like the history of toothpaste.
Yeah, we're going to fill up an entire hour on
The
toothpaste.
history of Danny's wart.
Oh,
You can take up 3 episodes.
my wart on my finger. It's not there right
Oh,
now.
do you actually have a wart on your
I
finger?
did. I had a wart on my
now
pointer
I feel
finger.
bad.
As well you should.
I thought I was making that up.
No, we need to do the history
for-
of Danny socks getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
I hate socks.
We can talk about the mole right next to my eye that I'm always worried about.
Me too.
So in 2 weeks, look forward to our history chat about all of our bodily functions
And
and
dysmorphia.
We appreciate you sticking around and listening to us. As always, email us if you have ideas about podcast.
Sorry, I was
Stuff.
breathing in that.
Josh is over there.
Josh's like, I smell so much breath.
A podcast topic is what I was trying to say before I was rudely interrupted.
What are we talking about?
And
At
with
emails at twaddlingalong.com.
continue to follow us as always on our Facebook and our Instagram. We do post the pictures and some of our clips there, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks. Love you all.
I say if they make it through, then
This time of year.